Hey beautiful people, it's your guy Eric Lee and you're watching 31 and Counting with another horrible hair day. I know. I gotta get it retwist, but this video is about meal prep. I'm gonna get you on, I call it a hot salad, but it's just baked vegetables so everything tastes real good and delicious. Stay tuned. So, these vegetables can be all mixed up. It's just pretty much preference. Right now, I have peppers. Everything in this bowl comes out of my garden. These are green peppers straight out the garden. Yep, I gotta get those. These are pear tomatoes out of my garden. Gotta get those tomatoes in because they have a lot of volume with very little calories, and they're pretty good. Store-bought mushrooms. I don't grow mushrooms. And carrots, I like to slice these instead of using a mandolin because I like my slices fairly thick. I guess I could cheat and buy some pre-sliced ones, but they come pretty thin and they normally just burn up in the oven. These are some green beans. I got these from Walmart, this from HEB. These are out of my garden. I just used that bowl to fill up the last one of it. And pretty much that's it. My protein I'm gonna use is fish, just because I'm about to go to Cancun in a few days. So I'm trying to really clean the system out, feel healthy, and then get to the point where I feel like I deserve it and eat good, you know, show off this, I ain't gonna show you too much, show off this body I've been working for, but let's get to cutting it. So what I'm gonna start off with is the green beans. These, like I said, came from Walmart, but you can see they still have the stems and everything on them. So I like to keep these ends because they get pretty crispy. Cut these ends off. These do need to be rinsed and washed off before I start cooking them, but I'm gonna cut them the way they are. And if I can just get this just right, I like to use a pair of shears. Look at that. Cut them with the shears. You won't be here all day. It's kind of hard to do with one hand and show the camera, and I like to cut them about half this size. That way when I go to measure out, I end up with a good spoonful each instead of these really long ones. So I'll cut this about half size, and right now I'm just using a regular tray, you know, one of those ones like a to-go box type tray. One side's gonna have my trash, the other side's gonna have what I'm gonna keep, and then I'm gonna throw it in a bowl, wash them off, and then start adding the rest of my vegetables. So there we have it right there. That's about half that bag full of green beans. That's all I'm gonna need for this amount right now. Shout outs to Danco, you know, bumping that little nerd life, looking at these battles. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break out my cutting board. And I'm gonna get these tomatoes. Now with the tomatoes, I like to just cut them long ways down the center. And yeah, so I keep this pretty much a pear look. And also allows for a lot of the moisture to come on out of there. Because when you don't wanna, some I leave whole, just very few. But for the most part, I like to get a lot of that moisture out of there. I don't like it. I don't like to bite into a nice hot tomato. Ugh. And just like movie magic, all my cutting's done, guys. You didn't even have to wait for it. So let's get to the first part. This is how many tomatoes I'm gonna use. These are the size of the tomatoes I normally don't cut up. They're quite small, so yeah, they're you know, they don't get that kind of attention. I don't bother. These are the amount of mushrooms I end up using. Pretty much all that I had left over. These are the rest of the peppers from the garden. I spared one because Key likes to cook with stuff out the garden too. This is pretty much the last one we have until we go out to the garden, but this is more than enough. Now this might look like a lot to you guys who don't cook a lot, but these mushrooms are gonna get super small in the oven. These are gonna shrivel in size, and these are gonna lose so much moisture, they're gonna get a lot smaller. The only thing that's gonna stay similar in size are these green beans because they have like the protect and shield, but they're gonna get skinnier too. So all I got left to do is season I'm gonna combine everything, season it up to my tasting, you know, Don't worry about it, guys. However you want to do it. If you just use salt and pepper, that's you. But I'm gonna use a little bit more. I'm not cutting out salt from my my diet just yet. Some people, I know y'all have that. And some people just aren't gonna season it at all because they like the natural flavors. That's your prerogative. But wait, hold the press. We almost forgot one of my favorite parts of the salad. The carrots. Okay, so I cut my own. They normally come, the ones I buy around it. I cut them. I know this might be dangerous for some people, but I like to just get that proper thickness. This is pretty much as thick as I want because they're gonna get a little smaller in the oven. And now we can get back to it. So I got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and season my stuff. I'm gonna start with a little bit of olive oil. That's about enough. Shake my food up. Let it get a coat of that good olive oil. There you go. You can see that olive oil sheen. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 spoonful of diced garlic. I like a lot. That's about a big heaping spoonful. Now I'm gonna go ahead and mix that in there. See, that's gonna also add a little bit more oil. I'm gonna try to do this without making a mess. I'm gonna add a little bit of this pink Himalayan sea salt. A lot goes a long way. I'm not a big fan of salt, but there you go. That's a sea salt. Some freshly ground pepper. There you go. Then I'm gonna add some of this good chupa. I like this blend. It's all seasoning. That's probably good enough for me. Mix that up. Now look at those colors. Now this would be really nice if I had different colored peppers in my garden, but you know, we have what we have. This is the largest sheet I have at the house. Have it lined with foil. I'm gonna spray it with some nonstick spray. And then I'm just gonna lay out my vegetables. Simple as this. Look at those colors, guys. Come on, man. Half of eating healthy is making it look good. Now you gotta do is spread this out. Give it all some room. That's pretty much it with the vegetables. So they're gonna sit here for maybe about 4 or 5 more minutes. I can just throw them in now. It won't make much of a difference. If you were gonna let it sit a little longer, you know, let it sit for 20, 30 minutes. Let all those flavors, you know, have fun together. But I'm gonna hit with a little bit more pepper, throw it in the oven right now, and see if my fish has thawed out. Now, that's what I'm gonna use for protein. I'm using fish. I said that earlier, but I'm gonna tell you the kind. This is Pengascus. This is the kind of packaging it comes in. Now, there's other fish like cod and stuff like that you can get as well, but Pengascus is a good substitute for, say, tilapia. So this is our Pengascus fish. You can see it's nice, clean white meat, real firm. You know, it's gonna firm up real good. I'm gonna cook it pretty simply in a George Foreman. It looks exactly like tilapia, but it feels way different. You guys know what that little green light means, don't you? It means the fish is done. Let's check it out. Oh, look at that. Boy, tell me y'all don't want to be here right now. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna get these off the heat. Hopefully they didn't stick too much. Oh, they came off pretty good. Let's see the other side. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Go and give it a... If you ain't gave me a thumbs up yet, give me a thumbs up now. Look at this fish. Boy, tell me y'all want to be here. So the fish is almost done. I have about 3 minutes left on that on those vegetables. I'm gonna let this cool off on this glass plate. Check out my vegetables right now. Give it time, you know. See, look, I learned how to do this. Let that little steam come out so you're gonna burn your face off. Look at those, oh, look at those vegetables fogging up the, that looks beautiful in there. Well, tell me y'all don't, right now, if y'all ain't like this video, go ahead and subscribe. Tell me y'all don't wanna be here eating with your boy. Come on, come on. So guys, this whole meal took about 30 minutes from the moment I took everything out of the refrigerator and started slicing to what we have in front of us right now. If you're asking why I use 2 bowls, man, I didn't have enough room in one. I doubled down. I doubled down and used 2 bowls. Don't judge your boy. So this is how we're gonna do it. I'm not gonna measure this time. I'm pretty much gonna eyeball it. But the good thing about with these vegetables is they're healthy for you. So if you eat a little too much or too little, if you're hungry later, you can snack on them. The vegetables is the good part. The protein, I'm gonna pretty much stick to one of these fillets each. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in a generous amount of vegetables. Because I'm thinking I'm doing 6 meals a day now, guys. 5 to 6 meals, so, if I get all my meals in, 6. But 5 to 6 meals in, so these are gonna be fairly small because I'm gonna wanna be hungry within the next 2 to 3 hours. So this is pretty much all the vegetables I'm putting in here. And then I'll just add one fillet. Oh yeah, there's your one prep. So you don't have to go out and pay all this money and whatever. I think the fillets cost for a bag like $20. The vegetables all together, she was less than that. Half this came out of my garden. So I'm thinking maybe $10. So you got what, $30 prep right here. 30 minutes you make all this and you good. So when people say that eating healthy is expensive, yeah, if you're paying somebody else, but guys, you can do it by yourself. If you like this video, y'all know what to do. You're watching 31 and Counting. I'm Eric Lee and we out.